festivalcircuit.com and the director of the Texas Short Film Festival. We have the Texas Short Film Festival Fall 2022 event coming up very soon, October the 22nd. We screen films of all types, animated, drama, comedy, music videos, you name it. Content that's 30 minutes or less is what we'll be screening all day long on that Saturday. And we're going to talk about a horror film today, one that's been nominated for Best Horror Film. And we're joined by director Lana Winters. Hello, Lana. How are you?
Good. Thank you for having me on your chat here this evening.
Oh, I appreciate you making time for us. You make the filmmakers look good with your horror film. I think we're going to play it a little later on at night so we don't freak out the little ones, but
thank you.
Very good job on this. Very, very good. And the judges there's a few judges we have that are just horror film fanatics, and they're just like, yep, that's 10. Let's do it. Let's go. So good job on that. But I don't want to give away the story. I have a bad habit of saying the end of a movie every time I talk about it. So can you please tell me, in your own words, the synopsis for your film?
Okay, so without totally giving it away, Flora is a character who absolutely loves Halloween, and she'll do anything to, I guess, express her love for her boyfriend, Eric, I guess you could say. And never play alone. I like to leave it up to the viewer for interpretation and everything, but it's kind of a story of grief in a way.
Okay. All right. Good way of like setting that up. I like that. I like that. Well, what inspired you to create this specific film from a creative perspective? Why this?
Well, I think a lot of it had to do with when the lockdowns happened. There was a lot of people who were truly living in fear, and a lot of them wouldn't come out of their homes. And because of COVID, and people, living in fear, a lot of people just isolated themselves, and that isolation sometimes can not be very healthy for people if there's already issues there.
Sure.
And also it was a way of me trying to express to individuals that, grieving's fine. Grieving's natural. It's a healthy experience in life. Like, we're all going to grieve sometime, but you can't get lost in it.
Yeah, that's so true. Isolation. I was just having a conversation with someone earlier who was feeling a little depressed, and there's no, instant cure for depression, which we all, the whole planet Earth experienced a little bit of depression for a little while there with the first weeks of the COVID lockdowns. But I was telling this person earlier, isolation feeds your depression, and you have to learn how to be creative, and you have to learn how to be around people who are positive influences during that time, or who are trying to create something cool. And to come out of COVID with something like this, to be inspired, to come out with something this creative is very, very cool. On a technical level, doing this from front to back, you had to learn something. What did you learn on this one?
Every project that I've, worked on, or that I decided to create, I've always learned something new, and you're always going to experience something random.
Sure.
And sound is always going to be one of those things that's so important when you decide that you want to create a short or a feature film. I have not created a feature film yet, but I've done a couple shorts, and I've, helped a couple people on some of their films. But sound is very important. And I think that now I'm very paranoid. Like, when we go into filming, that I want to make sure that the sound is good.
Yeah, very good. So is it one of those things where you're hiring a whole sound department, or were you having to wear a lot of those hats?
Well, no, we're a tiny crew of maybe 5 people. And that's how I do my shorts, because, I financially fund my own films. Like, I don't do like fundraisers. I'm too proud of a person to ask people for money,
Sure.
I just fund my own stuff, and I just make it work. And, like I said, someone or a friend, or, I'll hire someone to come and hold like a boomstick. And like I said, there's just a total maybe 5 of us on set.
All right. Well, you know what? Good things can come out of small crews too. So what do you have planned for the future? What's going on next?
Well, I'm trying to consider like maybe around this time next year, either doing another short or creating a feature film. But I think maybe a short is probably more realistic at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what genre do you think you're going to dabble in horror? Or are you going to do something else?
Well, I'm going to do a couple more horror, but then I'm going to go ahead and expand into different genres because I want to show different viewers different sides of who I am as a person and kind of share, pieces of who I am with other people. So, yeah.
All right. Good stuff. Well, I appreciate you spending time and being so transparent about this entire process. I appreciate that. Um, is there anything else you'd like to add before we go?
If anybody out there ever wants to hop on one of my projects, if you can act or, if you want to help out, hey, I'm up in North Texas. You can reach my email on any of my pages and just reach out and we can work together.
All right. Sounds good. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Lana.
Thank
Have a
you.
good weekend.
Thank you.